Welcome to Forced Perspective. I guess you'd classify it as a review show. Also, I'm a crab now, so that's new. Today we'll be taking a look at Path of Shadows, a game that's not actually a game, but a proof of concept prototype, something that if I wasn't doing this solely for practice, I would have a moral problem with critiquing, but, you know, loopholes. You're a ninja. That's it, I guess. Okay, so the game. It's a third-person stealth game, pure and simple. No action elements, just stealth. If you're seen by an enemy, you can't fight back. You can only run and hide. So you want to avoid that by using your shadow interactions. They call it shadow manipulation, but in a world where contrast exists, I don't think you can really call blinking from one shadow to another, creating temporary shadows, and seeing enemy silhouettes while in darkness shadow manipulation. No, but everything works well, and nothing is too restrictive. As long as the area isn't bathed in light and is close enough, you can create a shadow and blink to it. And trust me, there aren't arbitrary no shadow zones. As long as the spot meets the previous criteria, you can make a shadow and blink to it, even if it breaks the game. Take this for example. I see a rooftop. I'm a ninja. What do you think is gonna happen? Rooftops are like the Ninja International Superhighway. You take a Ninja Exit 47 and it takes you straight to the Ninja Wendy's. So eventually I find an angle to accomplish my noble task, and this happens. And then curiosity gets the better of me, and this happens. So, yeah, no hidden restrictions as far as I can tell. Which is nice. Broke the game, but still, it's nice. Now that we looked at that, let's take a look at the actual stealth system. The enemy detection works like pretty much every other game that has any stealth elements. If someone sees you, you're given a warning and the direction of the person that can see you. Then after they finally remember that they're guards, they will chase after you. The only problem with this is that you are completely invisible to enemies when in a shadow. Meaning that being seen doesn't really matter, as you can just run to a shadow, get behind them, and then end the chase in the most gruesome way possible. Past that, if you restrict yourself from being seen like the game was intended, you can lure enemies to your location by ringing your wrist bell and take care of them that way. But honestly, the game doesn't give you any in-game reason to not be seen, which is, as I'm sure you can imagine, not great for a stealth game. And yes, you. I know you're doing your best, and you'd be useful on a large level, but currently you're just kind of ruining the exploration aspect. So go. Be free. Yeah, okay, or that. And that, somewhat ham-fistedly, segues me into talking about something that might normally be overlooked. The level design. In a game like this, the level design is incredibly important. If you can't find what seems to be creative ways to avoid and eliminate patrols, it just turns into a monotonous task of using cheap tricks to get past the level. And this prototype doesn't exactly fill me with confidence in that aspect. Each section has, seemingly at least, at most 3 ways you can go, and each path offers the same possibilities of hide in the shadows, lure the guard using your bell and then kill him when his back is turned, shadow blink past them, or just run past the section and hide in a shadow that is sure to be fairly close. Now this isn't exactly surprising, as this build clearly focuses on demonstrating the core mechanics, but still, I'm not a fan of the fact that something as simple as getting on the rooftops lets you complete the level with no resistance, when with proper level design this route would be planned and allow for a different but still challenging way to complete the level. Cliff Notes. It's redundant, but nah. Path of Shadows is a third-person pure stealth game with shadow interaction abilities. Your only objective is to make it to the end of the level. You do this by hiding in shadows, teleporting from one shadow to another, and distracting guards. The shadow powers are interesting and relatively unrestricted, however the enemy AI and basic stealth mechanics makes everything simple and unchallenging, and the level design leaves much to be desired. All this said, this is a proof-of-concept prototype that clearly focuses primarily on the shadow powers, meaning that these shortcomings might stem from a lack of focus and not a lack of skill or understanding. Overall, this prototype did its job. I enjoyed my time with Path of Shadows and look forward to seeing what becomes of the project. Thanks for watching! Click over here to watch the most recent and only other video I've done. To quote myself from that video, it's not great. But still, it's your choice. I am also not a crab in that video, so I mean, it's kinda... it loses by default. They tell you exactly what you need to do. You just execute the command. The first puzzle you come across is a perfect example. You need to get here. So the game tells you to combine your powers to topple over this. Hell, they even give you the exact gestures you need to make.